I'm excited to be bringing you guys through a recovery class today. So we're going to get started just with a few warm-up drills, essentially take our joints through their full range of motion before we move into some nice relaxing stretches and mobility exercises. So we're going to start off from the top. We're going to start off with the neck. So what I want you to do is you're going to pull your chin into your chest, slowly roll your chin to your left shoulder, drop your left ear to your left shoulder, extend back and around. Right ear will come to your right shoulder, and then roll that chin to chest. Reverse direction, chin to the right shoulder, drop your right ear, extend back and around, left ear down, chin to the chest. I want to encourage you to do some nice deep breathing during these circles. Let's do one more in each direction. Chin to the chest, roll the chin to that left shoulder, drop your left ear, slowly extend back and around, right ear down, chin to chest, and reverse, chin to that right shoulder, drop your right ear, slowly extend up and back, left ear down, chin to the chest. The next one we're going to do is take our shoulders through a nice big circle. So you're going to bring your arm up alongside your ear. Now as you do this, I want you to make sure that you're not arching your back, so try to just pull that rib cage in and slightly tuck your tailbone under. That way we're really giving that shoulder a stretch. From here, once you've reached kind of your end range overhead, I want you to imagine there's an X traced on your bicep, and you're going to rotate your shoulder so far that that X rotates out behind you. So I'm going to rotate my whole shoulder here until the top of my palm comes into my thigh at the bottom. The back side of my hand comes into my thigh. From here, we're going to reverse direction. So reach out behind you, kind of find that end range extension. Make sure you're not leaning forward here, so keep a little core engagement. From there, rotate your pinky forward and come back around. Okay, so we're going to do that just a couple more times there. Come up as far as you can to that overhead. Rotate, make sure that shoulder is fully internally rotating. Extend it back, rotate your pinky forward. Let's do one more. Big inhale. As you rotate, exhale. Inhale up. Exhale as you come around. Nice work. We're going to do the same thing on the other side. So this is a great exercise to help you maintain range of motion in your shoulders, and it's a good way to get those shoulders warmed up for some additional mobility and stretching work. So remember, as you're coming up, bring that arm all the way up overhead, rotate that shoulder fully, top of the palm is into the thigh, reverse to come up. Let's do one last rep here. And relax. Okay, then we're going to take our elbows into our sides, and we're going to do some circles for the wrists. So just make sure your palms are nice and flat here so you're not scrunching your fingers up. Nice flat palm, bring your pinkies in, then you're going to extend those wrists as you come out and around, and then pull the fingers in towards your face. So we're trying to isolate this movement just to the wrists. You might get a little bit of snap, crackle, pop here. That's totally fine. Okay, we'll go for something like 5 to 8 reps here, and then go ahead and reverse. Same thing in that opposite direction. Nice. Okay, so our next thing, we're going to move down the body a little bit, and we're going to work on the pelvis. So being able to control your pelvis movement is super important for lower back health, preventing lower back pain, and being able to use your hips and your glutes effectively. And it just kind of feels really good as a nice release on the back, the hips, and the hamstrings. So what you're going to do is you're going to take a slight bend in your knees. You're going to place your hands on your hips. And then from here, you're going to just stick your booty out behind you. So place a little bit of an arch in the back. And then you're going to tuck that tailbone under. Now, as you move back and forth smoothly, I would encourage you try not to squeeze your glutes. We want to just be able to tilt that pelvis back and forth here. Make sure you breathe as you're doing this. Keep that soft bend in the knees. Nice. From here, we're going to kind of maintain this same position with a little bit of a bend in the knees, feet about hip width apart. You're going to take your left hand onto your hip, and then you're going to reach your right arm up and over. So you're going to get a nice big lateral bend. I want you to imagine you're between two panes of glass. As you reach, take a nice big inhale here, and then exhale. As you reach up and over, you should get a nice big stretch in that side body. One more. Good, we'll switch. Place that right hand on the hip. Take that left hand, nice big inhale. Exhale, reach. Two more. Inhale, exhale. Good. Go ahead and relax there. We're going to take our feet together. We're going to just do some rotations for the knees. So legs are together, feet are together here. Place a little bend in those knees. You can take your hands to your knees. You're just going to make some circles here. Okay, you can start fairly shallow with the bend and then take it a little bit deeper if you like. That way you get a little bit more into the ankles as you go along. If you want to take it a little lower, you can let your heels lift off the ground and come into a nice deep squatting position wherever your comfort level is. Then let's reverse direction. Again, start shallow. You can stay shallow if you like, or take it a little bit lower just to get those hips, knees, and ankles warmed up. If you want to take it all the way down, lift your heels, you can. Okay, we're going to do some ankle circles next. So you can, if you want a little balance challenge, you can do it without holding on to something. I recommend just placing your hand on a wall or a chair or something else. You're going to lift your leg just so you have enough room to do some nice, slow ankle rotations. Now I encourage you not to just kind of move your foot really fast here, but try to go really slow and find each corner of that ankle circle. This way we help improve or enhance our coordination of the range of motion, and we help just maintain the range of motion that we do have. The slower you go, the better you're able to control that range. Reverse direction. A few nice slow reps here. Again, don't feel like you need to do a balance here. Feel free to hold on to something. We really want the focus to be on that ankle rotation. Okay, go ahead and relax. Same thing on the other side. Nice and slow. Try to get into each little corner here. Might start to make those shins burn a little bit. That's fine. Again, we want to get everything nice and warm. Stretching always feels better when we've got the body warmed up a little bit. Reverse direction. And all these drills that we've just gone over in our little warm up here are great drills you can do every day to either warm up for a training or just when you wake up in the morning, kind of get your body ready to go for your day. Okay, so what we're going to do next, we're going to move into some more total body drills. We're going to just let the arms and shoulders be nice and loose here. And you're just going to rotate from side to side, letting the arms kind of swing and hit your body as they come around. And just kind of getting the body really relaxed. So it's great to learn to tension our muscles when we're working out. And when we're doing recovery work, we want to also think of finding some relaxation, because we also want to have that balance of being able to relax all the muscles and so they're not chronically in tension. Okay, so it's just a nice drill to think of relaxing everything and just letting yourself smoothly rotate from side to side. And this can also be a great, nice, relaxing warm-up for your recovery stretching. Okay, we're going to do some spine roll downs next. So for this one, you're going to start with your chin. You're going to tuck your chin, then you're going to roll through your upper back, rounding it out, mid back to lower back. Try to keep your legs as straight as you can, but if you need to place a little bend in your knees, that's totally fine as well. And then from here, tuck your chin, tuck your tailbone, roll yourself back up to standing. If you like, you can do a nice big arm reach at the top, big inhale. As you come down, exhale, tuck the chin, round it down. Big inhale up. Big exhale down. Tuck the chin, tuck the tailbone, all the way back up to standing. We're going to add a little bit of a twist to that. We're going to do a ragdoll. So for this, we're going to do a nice big circle. It's going to kind of stretch out the lower back. But similar idea to your spinal roll down. We're going to have a nice rounded spinal flexion, which just kind of helps stretch and relax everything. So what we're going to do here, tuck your chin. You're going to start to roll to your side. Then you're going to round forward, round and relax that back. Roll over to your left side. And come up. Then we're going to reverse that. Okay, so the width of your feet can vary. It might feel a little easier with wider feet. If you want a little bit more of a challenge, a bigger stretch on your back, go a little more narrow. Okay, just go to your comfort. So now we'll roll that opposite direction. And you can choose how deep to go on this exercise. Again, you can place a little bit of a bend in your knees if you feel your hamstrings are limiting you. And you can work on getting as low as you can to the ground. Just rounding that spine. This one feels really nice to just kind of give that back a good stretch. One more each direction. Nice. So next, we're going to take it down to hands and knees. So from this quadruped position here, we're going to work on a little bit of spine control. So this is going to be really important because if your spine doesn't function well, nothing really does. So we want to make sure that we have good control of all parts of the spine, not just say only your lower spine or only your upper spine, but the entire spine. So what we're going to do, some of you guys may be familiar with a traditional cat-cow exercise, which looks like this. You round your spine, this is cat, and then you arch your spine, this is cow. Okay, so what we're going to do instead of that, it's going to be a segmented cat-cow, which means we're going to try to move each piece of your back one at a time. So we're going to start from your pelvis. So if I start in this cow position, I'm going to tuck my tailbone under, and then I'm slowly going to articulate through my lower back, my mid back, my upper back, and finally my neck and my head to come into cat. Then I'm going to start again from my pelvis, untuck my pelvis, move my low back, mid back, upper back, neck, and head. Okay, so again, start from the pelvis, tuck that tailbone, and then try to move one vertebrae at a time. Now this is a tough exercise, but really good for building spinal coordination, which is going to help overall just with your movement, with your training, and with your recovery. And just making sure that you're able to access the positions you need to access more easily, plus it just kind of feels like a massage for your spine, which is awesome. If you feel like you can't quite segment each piece of your spine, that's totally okay. Just do your very best, and it will get better over time. Good. Go ahead and relax there. Now the next one we're going to do is move the scapula. So it's the shoulder blades and all the muscles that run around the shoulder blades. So this again, it just feels really good. It helps with better shoulder function as well. So hands right under those shoulders, knees right under those hips. You're going to start by squeezing the shoulder blades together and then pulling the shoulder blades apart. So dropping down, squeeze the blades, pushing up, pulling those shoulder blades apart. Squeeze and push up. Good. Go ahead and relax in the middle. You're going to then pull your shoulder up to your ears and then pull your shoulders down and away from your ears. So we're shrugging, pulling away. Then we're going to combine those two drills. We're going to make some circles here. So you're thinking about shrugging towards the ears, dropping down to squeeze together, pulling shoulders away from the ears, and then pulling them apart as you push up, and then trying to make those circles as smooth as you can. Again, this is a challenging drill, so just take your time Do your best, and then reverse that direction. So you're going to reverse that roll. So shoulders away from the ears, squeeze them together, roll the shoulders to the ears, push up to pull those blades apart, and then pull them down, and it starts again, nice and smooth. Nice, go ahead and relax there. Now our next one, we're gonna do some rib circles and then we're gonna do some pelvic circles. So again, we're just kind of isolating each part of the body and helping them stretch out and get warmed up and feel really good. So what we're gonna do here for our rib circle. So instead of just going down and up, what we're gonna do is I'm gonna have you kind of combine, similar to that scapular movement, or similar to your cat-cow. You're gonna do a cat-cow, but you're going to move your rib cage in a circle as you do it. So you can see it here from the front. I'm going to think of a cat-cow and moving in a circle. So I go into my cow, I move my ribs to the other side. I'm gonna go into a cat, move my ribs to the other side. Okay, so nice big circle with the ribs, reverse direction. Try to keep this movement mostly in your ribs and not too much in your pelvis, because that's what we're going to isolate next. Okay, so we'll do same thing for the pelvis. So similar idea. This one feels kind of funny, but probably most of you guys are doing this at home, so you don't have to worry about anybody seeing you look silly. It feels really good. So what you're going to do is you're going to do, start with just a pelvic tilt here. So similar to what we did standing. But then what we're going to do is we're actually going to start to make a circle. So you're going to think of kind of pushing your seat bones out as you tilt that pelvis here, and then as you come around, tuck that tailbone under. Okay, so we're just trying to isolate that pelvis. Should feel pretty good on your lower back and your hips. Reverse direction. Again, if those circles are too challenging, you can always just stick with the pelvic tilt and just work there until that feels more smooth. Okay, so one more drill we're going to do from this quadruped position here is a hip circle. So for this one, again, hands right under those shoulders, knees right under the hips. You're going to start with your right side. You're going to bring your right knee up to your right elbow. Now try to keep both arms straight, open that hip up, and then you're slowly going to rotate that hip, keeping the knee high, and then bringing the knees together. Then we're going to reverse it. So kick up, try not to arch your back here, so tuck those ribs in and squeeze your glutes. Then you're going to move that knee out and in towards the elbow. Okay, so we'll do two more. Come into that elbow, open, slowly rotate, bring the knees together, up, squeeze that glute, out, back to the elbow. One more. Up to the elbow, open, slowly rotate, knees together, kick up, open, bring it back in. So again, this is a great way to maintain range of motion of your hips, as well as increase your coordination. The slower you go, the better control you're going to get there. So we're going to do the same thing on the other side. Same idea here. Bring that knee in, open up, slow rotation, bring knees together, kick up, open, and bring knee to the elbow. Okay, two more. Lift to the elbow, open, slow, slow, slow through that rotation. As you kick up, try not to arch your back, open, back together. One more. Nice and slow. Good, and go ahead and relax. So we have a few more drills we're gonna do. We're gonna work into a little bit of an upper back rotation. This stretch feels really good. So what we're gonna do here, you're gonna need some space on the floor. You're going to cross your foot over your knee, and then you're gonna let that bent leg, where the foot is flat on the floor, just kind of drop down to the ground. Okay, so as we're here, what we're gonna do is I'm gonna come around and I'm gonna come up onto my elbows and push to rotate that way here. Okay, so if my legs are on this side, rotate to this side. I'm rotating the other way to get a bigger stretch through my upper back. Okay, then I'm going to reach this arm out, so same side leg as the legs. I'm going to slide that hand through, and then I'm going to open up to get a nice rotation on my upper back. Okay, so spin around, come up to the elbows, lengthen up through the spine, rotate, bring that hand through, rotate back out. Spin it up. Rotate, lift that chest, slide through, come around. Nice. We're going to come to the other side. So bring that leg, opposite foot over the knee, rotate down. Now I'm going to bring that arm around, and I'm going to lift and rotate. Lengthen that spine as I rotate, and I'm going to bring that hand through, rotate up and around, trying to get shoulder blades to touch the ground. Spin it up. You can always be up on the hands if being down on the elbows is too big of a stretch, so you can stay up a little bit higher. Okay. Spin open. Let's do one more. Good, and go ahead and release. So our last few drills we're going to do from seated position, working a little bit on the hips here. So we're going to come into a bear sit or bent leg middle split position here. So you're going to keep the knees bent, grab hold of those ankles, and just get as wide of a seat that you can stay fairly upright, so not too much rounding. So if that means you need to take your feet in a little bit, that's okay. Or if you need to take them out with less bend in the knees, you can do that as well. So just find a position that feels like a little bit of a stretch for you there. And what we're going to do is we're going to cat-cow the spine here to start. So you're going to round your spine, and then you're going to flatten your spine. So I should show you that from the side. Round the spine, flatten the spine as best you can. As you round, it should kind of just relax the tension on the hips. As you straighten up, it should increase a little bit of a stretch on that hip. So just nice and gentle, stretching those hips out. Think of inhale as you sit tall, exhale as you round. Inhale, exhale. Next one we're going to do from this same position is we're going to let our knees drop. So now I'm going to have you take your hands out behind you just so you feel like you have a little bit of support here. Keep your left leg right where it's at. You're just going to drop your right knee in. Now I want you to try to keep your butt on the ground on the side that you're dropping the knee. That way you're going to get a bigger stretch on your hip. Okay, then you're going to just bring that back out. Switch to the other side. And you might notice a bit of a difference on each side. So for me, my left hip here doesn't quite have as much range of motion as the right side. That's totally fine. Just go to whatever range of motion you feel a bit of a stretch, but no pain or pinching. Okay, we would just want to stay nice and easy on our recovery stretching. Okay, so then from here, what we're going to do now is you're going to drop the knees, both knees drop down, come back up, both knees drop down, and now you can let your butt lift off the ground. That's fine. If it's not touching the ground, that's perfectly okay. Okay, so we're then going to come over to one side, sit up a bit taller. We're going to come into a shin box position here. So that means that we got kind of a nice flat line here, and then this leg is kind of folded back behind us. Okay, so in this shin box position, what we're going to do is you're going to come up and then come down nice and slow. Now this can be pretty challenging, especially if your hip is limited on this side. You might feel like you're leaning a little bit. Use your hand to support you, and then if you need a little push from your hands off the ground to get up, that's fine. See if you can come down slow without your hands if possible, but again, you can use your hands if you need to come down, because we want to come down with control as opposed to just flopping down to the ground. Okay, so you're going to come up, think of squeezing your glutes, squeeze this back glute, and then come down nice and slow. You can let your chest drop forward a little bit. So this is a great drill to open up those hips. Good. From here, we're going to switch to the other side. You're going to keep your feet planted, lift your knees. You can keep your hands behind you if you like, or no hands. Okay, so you're just going to rotate open, and then rotate into that shin box on the other side. Okay, so now we're on that other side. Same idea. Lift up, squeeze those glutes. Nice, control, back down. Lift up. Shoulders come forward. Nice and slow, back to the floor. Okay, now we're going to combine, we're going to add to this little series. You're going to rotate. Again, you can place your hands behind you. Rotate. Then you're going to lift. Come down nice and slow. Rotate to the other side. And lift here. Again, if you want to go no hands, make it more challenging on your hips, you can do that as well. Okay, let's do one more each side. Good, so the last one we're going to do here is we're going to add a little more, a bigger hip stretch and a little bit of a back bend on this shin box. So what you're going to do, whatever leg is out in front here, you're going to take that hand and you're going to place it behind you, just a little bit behind your shoulder here, so that when you come up, you're going to lift up and you're going to reach the arm up and over. So we're going to get a nice big stretch on the hips and a little bit of a back bend here. So nice and slow, bring it back down. Inhale, exhale, push those hips forward. And we want to make sure that that hand or that wrist is about stacked right underneath that shoulder as you come up. So feel free to adjust. If you feel like your arm is out too far, then you can just feel free to adjust, bring it in a little bit closer. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and do the same thing on the other side. So feel free to do your switch. I'm going to just rotate myself around so you guys can see me. So take that hand behind you. So remember, whatever leg is out in front of you, take that hand behind you. Take a nice big inhale. Squeeze your glutes. Exhale as you come up. The more you push those hips forward, the better this is going to feel on the back. Inhale. Inhale, exhale. Last one. Good. And go ahead and release. So hopefully you guys are feeling a little bit warm, a little bit stretched out, and feeling recovered so you can get ready for the next challenges. So thank you guys so much for joining me, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.